Hi, and welcome to the Sit Down with Suzanne podcast. I am your host, Suzanne. Welcome to the show. Well, who am I? I am an author, a minister, a life coach, a motivational speaker, and a leader with over 20 odd years of experience leading multi-million dollar corporations. And I am here for your listening pleasure. For my first time visitors, I want to welcome you. Stick around. I promise you're going to find something worthwhile. And to all my returning listeners who last episode I shared the vast and varied countries and states that they're located in. I actually was so surprised by the diverseness of just everything, just from all over, from Oceania to Germany to Africa to Washington, D.C. Absolutely love it. So I thank you guys for listening. I thank you guys for sharing, for subscribing, for following, for sending your feedback. I appreciate it. And I promise you, I'm going to continue to put out content that you enjoy, continue to put out content that I enjoy, and remain authentic and true to who I am. I am excited about tonight's episode. Well, all right. If you've listened to the show before, you know I'm excited about every episode because I really think about each episode that I put out for you guys. But this episode is titled Why We Need Girlfriends, right? One of my favorite shows, and I almost said growing up, but I was a little older than but one of my favorite shows growing up was Girlfriends, and it starred Tracy Ellis Ross, Persia White, Jill Marie Jones, and Golden Brooks. And it was such a fun show. I enjoyed it, never missed an episode. I mean, right now, back then we didn't have Hulu and Netflix and, where you can watch these things, but you had to be there to watch it opening night, right? So the opening song, which I'm not going to sing it for you because I am many things, but I don't think I've ever told y'all I'm a singer. But it goes like this. My girlfriends, they're true thick and thin. My girlfriends, they're for anything. My girlfriends. Loved that line. It was so true. And then there was this other show that I absolutely love, starring Queen Latifah, Erica Alexander, Kim Coles, and Kim Fields, and that was Living Single. And, I can go on all night about all the different shows about girlfriend and strong girlfriend friendships. But, there's a reason why these shows were so popular in Black culture. There was a reason why it resonated so much with us, because they were showing what we were living and actually showing something that hadn't been shown, because I don't think there was really any shows that explored the intricacies and just the importance of Black female friendship. So I loved it. I loved seeing it because this is what I grew up with. Your girlfriends, they are there through thick and thin. And I'm not talking frenemies. I'm talking actual, true girlfriends. So I like to do research. So I did a little research, and according to the Mayo Clinic, friends enrich your life and improve your health. So it's not just about, just shopping and eating and having fun and all that. There is a genuine benefit to having friends. Some of the other benefits that they listed are: friends increase your sense of belonging and purpose. Friends boost your happiness and reduce your stress. Friends improve your self-confidence and self-worth. And friends help you cope with traumas such as divorce, serious illness, job loss, or the death of a loved one. And friends encourage you to change or avoid unhealthy lifestyle habits such as excessive drinking or lack of exercise. Oh my, we're going to talk about that one a little more. I actually have a friend, one of my best friends, who is just phenomenal in terms of exercising. She started exercising at home about 2 years ago to incredible results. She's so consistent, so motivated. I respect her. I look up to her, just the way she continues to do it, because she sees the benefits of that, and she's very encouraging in regards to that. But these are all the benefits, and that's not according to me. That's according to the Mayo Clinic, right? So there are truly many benefits to having a girlfriend. The philosopher Aristotle said, "In poverty and other misfortunes of life, true friends are a sure refuge. They keep the young out of mischief. They comfort and aid the old in their weakness, and they incite those in the prime of their life to noble deeds." All right, people. So the Mayo Clinic, Aristotle said it clearly. there is some benefits to this girlfriend thing, right? When I was pursuing my degree, all my professors, they were kind of in love with this Psychology Today website and most of the articles. So I was pursuing my master's and it had a human resource bend. I was more geared towards that field. So they used a lot of articles from Psychology Today. So I got very familiar with their articles. And even after graduating, I still continue to read articles because they're good and they're short, they're easy read, and they're impactful. So one of the articles that I read that was written a few years ago, and this was before like girlfriends was truly needed, because right now with everything, especially being Black, in America right now, you need your girlfriends because no one else understands what it is like to be a Black woman than another Black woman. The things that we have to deal with every day at work, the microaggressions, the passive aggressive sentences and statements, and the overlooking, the misunderstanding. So it is very important in today's culture. But this article was written a few years ago and it was listed on Psychology Today, and it talked about some of the benefits of having friends. So one of the benefits, they say that friends are there to lift you out of joy or sorrow. And I can absolutely attest to that. I remember when I lost my dad and it was so devastating to me. And I remember coming back from the hospital and sitting outside in the car and seeing where he sat and knowing that, then it really and truly hit me, because I was kind of like in this surreal world, like after I left the hospital and I drove home. And when I got home and saw the chair where he typically sat, like every day, winter, spring, summer, or fall, and he wasn't there. And, I called my girlfriend and I just cried. I didn't say a word. I just cried. And she knew to just listen and then asked me if I was okay. So that was really, really tough. But they said it, friends are there to help lift you out of joy and sorrow. And, when you have joy in your life, your friends will celebrate with you and be so happy for you. And it increases your joy when you're celebrating, somebody's celebrating with you. It says friend helps you develop social skills. Absolutely. So one of my best friends, and I just spoke about her with the exercise when she's named Marianne. I've had her on the show before. She was the real estate agent we talked about, from going to renter to homeowner. So that's an older episode. So absolutely, if you can catch it. There are so many benefits to being a homeowner versus a renter. But she was very, very shy when we met. And I actually didn't think we were going to be friends because she thought I was just so loud. And I thought like, oh my goodness, this girl doesn't talk. But over the years of our friendship, she has said now she's no longer shy. She's still an introvert. But, she walks into a room, you notice her, she speaks up for herself, she advocates for herself. So, being able to, actually was her boss at one point, just being friends with her. And, she said, seeing me interact with others and things like that, and just truly encouraging her and letting her see herself through my eyes, how awesome she is, helped her develop her social skills, that she's able to be comfortable and talk in a room. And she'll still not be, a talker, the most talkative one of the party. No, but I just love to see her in action. Friends give you a reality check. Oh, I can attest to that. My other best friend, Talita, that lives in Brazil. When I say something to her that she's like, Suzanne, cut it out. And she will just tell you straight ahead if I say, well. So my daughter, right? If I make something and she doesn't like it, she doesn't want to hurt my feelings. So I was like, did you like it? She's like, well, I like it. I'm just not ready for it right now. So I was like, okay, she doesn't like it. So that's her thing, I like it, but I'm just not ready for it right now. But my girl Talita, she'll just straight up tell you, okay, Suzanne, cut it out. You're never going to wear that. Don't even buy it. Or, you're not going to eat it. Don't even buy it. Or if you want the ice cream, just buy the ice cream. Don't buy the broccoli and suck it down and be miserable. So she'll give me my reality check. Another reason is friendships at a young age can help you develop healthy romantic relationships. Now, when I saw that, I was like, wait a minute, because I'm not really into the little kids dating foolishness, but that wasn't what it was about. So I kind of understood it. And, the more I dug in depth into the article, it's talked about just having friends at that young age. You learn sharing, you learn caring, and it talked about compromise, but not compromise in a bad sense, meaning that, when you are young and you're growing up and, you want to play on the jungle gym and this other one wants to play like hopscotch or things like that. It was like, okay, we'll do this for a little bit and then we do that for a little bit so that we both get what we want. And when you grow up and you're in a relationship, it's all about compromise. It's not my way or the highway. So I did see that and I did get that connection. It says couple friends can help you with your own relationship. And I think that is true. And I think it could go both ways. Healthy couple friends. And if you see a friend in a toxic relationship, I think you'll be able to learn from that. And hopefully you guys will be able to talk about it and steer each other away from toxic relationships. But I will tell you, I am happy when I see my couple friends that they're happy, they respect each other, they treat each other well. And, I see them do something sweet. I'm like, oh, that's nice, things like that. So absolutely. And friends can improve health and longevity. Absolutely. I enjoy hanging out with my friends. If I'm having a tough day, I can talk to them and, my spirit is lifted. And I truly believe that like when you're happy and have joy and things like that, you'll live longer. So the 6 reasons they've given on Psychology Today, why the 6 benefits of healthy friendships, I should say, are friends are there to lift you out of joy and sorrow. Friends help you develop social skills. Friends give you a reality check. Friendship at a young age can help you develop healthy romantic relationships. Couple friends can help you with your own relationships, and friends can help improve your health and longevity. So I absolutely believe that. And I hope y'all caught the reference to healthy. Healthy, healthy, healthy. Let me say it 2 more times for the folks in the back. Healthy, healthy. We're not talking about unhealthy or toxic friendship. This is about the benefits of healthy friendships. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to invite you guys right now to do a purge. Trust me, it is good for you. Like when you go through your closet and you find things that no longer fit you, that you're holding on to, I'm going to invite you to let it go. And okay, so I'm going to do something too, because I have this designer dress that is phenomenal, this silver sparkle thing. And I think it's like a size 2 or a size 4. I bought it quite a long time ago. I'm never going to be a size 2 again. And actually, I don't want to be a size 2. So I'm going to purge. I'm going to let it go because it's not healthy holding on to it. It's just taking up space in my closet. So I'm going to let it go. So I'm going to invite you guys to do a friendship purge. Take a look at your friends, whether you have to write it down. And I'm a big fan of pro-con lists. I like to write things down. And you're not being, I don't want people saying like you're just being mean and cutting people out of your life. No, I want you to take a look at your friends. And if there's a friendship that you have been neglecting, listen, it happens. Life gets in the way. You get busy between work and kids and, health issues and so many things that are happening. Sometimes you don't have an opportunity to check in, and I don't worry about it. A friend of mine, I left her a message the other day and she called me back and she's like, I'm so sorry I didn't get a chance to call you back. Her and her husband are elderly. She's like, we were getting the vaccine and, I said, honey, no need to apologize. We love each other. That's it. I know that if you truly needed me, I'm there. And if I truly need you, you're there. So it's okay. And if something was wrong, I would find out about it. So don't worry about it. Don't stress out. Nothing to feel guilty. And we just went right into the conversation. And that's how it is. So if you have a true friend that you have been neglecting just because life has gotten in the way, pick up the phone, reach out, call, send a text, send a WhatsApp, send a funny GIF or a meme or something to say, hey, no, I've been busy, but let's get together. Let's connect on the phone, whatever you have to do. That's the good part. If you have a friend that is toxic, y'all need to let that go. It is life is just too short to stay with toxic friends. Life is too short to stay in toxic relationships. And a friendship is one of the most important things, relationships that you're going to have in your life. Release toxic people out of your life. Release toxic friends. And if you want to know if this friendship is toxic, hey, I came prepared, right? I have a couple ideas for you. Signs that it's a toxic friendship. They never celebrate your win. Anything happens for you, they're not celebrating you. They're not saying good job or anything. As a matter of fact, they look kind of, they kind of look like they swallowed a lemon or something like that. That's a sign of a toxic friend. They always remind you of your losses. That's another sign. If all they could do is remind you of how you messed up, when you messed up, where you messed up, they got the receipts. That is a sign of a toxic friend. They are jealous and petty and always want you to feel small. So, you don't want a petty friend. If they want you to feel small, like every time, like if somebody pays you a compliment, they, they just remind you of the things that you're not capable of doing, then that's petty. That's jealous. When they're not celebrating your win, that's a toxic friend. When they're in competition with you, if you do it, they need to do it and they need to do it better. If you, I don't know, buy something for $5, they have to buy something for $10. Friends are not in competition. A true friend celebrates you no matter what. Even if you're in the same field and you're moving ahead and they're not, they still celebrate you. They're not in direct competition with you. They don't put you down in front of others and then say that they're joking. I've seen that with a lot of friends, our so-called friends, not mine personally. They'll insult you and it's like, I'm just joking, things like that. They're jokes and then they're jokes. When you're doing something to make somebody feel small and putting them down in front of others always and then saying you're joking, no, you're really not joking. And putting no offense or I'm just joking doesn't change the insult. So you're going to do that friendship purge. What are the 5 things I mentioned? They never celebrate your wins. They always remind you of your losses. They're jealous and petty and always want you to feel small. They're in competition with you. They put you down in front of others and then say they're joking. Those are signs of toxic friendship. And if you have those people in your life, I'm going to encourage you to move away from those people in your life. You can try to salvage the relationship. You can have an honest conversation with them. You can have a come to Jesus conversation with them and see if, they'll change. But chances are, if this is who they are, they're not going to change. But I have faith. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt. And if not, because, it's so demotivating to be around toxic people. It drains your energy and it really I don't think it prolongs your life. So we'll do that friendship purge. So I am an extrovert, and I think I've mentioned that a couple of times. So I'm not short of acquaintances. I can connect with people very easily. I could walk in a room and not know anybody and still feel comfortable. But my true friends, my true girlfriends, there's not a lot of them. I have a very select few. But, they know me. They know everything about me. They accept me. They keep me grounded. They lift me up when I'm down. They celebrate my wins. They're there with me for my losses. They don't bat an eyelash, I promise you, when I show up for the movies in a gown, or if they come over and I go on my back porch in a gown, because I love gowns. And sometimes I feel like putting on a gown, and I do put on a gown and a crown. They never, ever feel jealous about what I wear. They are there for me. They are who they are. They wear what they want without worrying about what I am wearing, and vice versa. And they just accept me for me. I am who I am, flaws and all. And they'll call me on my thing if I'm, going crazy on something else, but never in a mean, degrading, or derogatory way. So absolutely, those are my true girlfriends, and I don't have a lot of them. So yeah, I could have more, but it's okay. But I get so much love and support from these women. and I give so much love and support to them. And it doesn't mean that we live in each other's back pocket. And having girlfriends doesn't mean that you guys live in each other's back pocket, that you talk every day. We can sometimes go for weeks without talking. Sometimes, we can talk every day. So I mentioned my best friend lives in Brazil, and I've spoken about her so much on this show. I will have to bring her on the show one day, right? She keeps telling me she's been back in Brazil. She's forgetting her English, but she's not. But anyway, she is just this phenomenal person. Had baby Benji last January, and he just turned 1, and I met him pre-pandemic, and now I can't see him. He's growing up. But anyway, she just started her business, Plan for Mommy, her business in Brazil, and she's doing all these things. And, she's been very busy, and you know me, I'm always doing 15 different things. So we haven't had an opportunity to catch up. But we started to watch a show the other day called Jane the Virgin. And I had held off watching Jane the Virgin for so long because I didn't want to see it because of the title, because I thought it was going to do with something and, Mary, and just, I'm not a fan of shows like that kind of just make fun of the faith. So I never even looked at it. But anyway, checked it out. Love the show. I mean, we were talking so often and leaving messages back and forth between WhatsApp that it was just hilarious. It was like, did you see that? Jane and Raph. We didn't like Michael and all of this. And after the show ended, it was so sad, and we talked and all that. But then after that, it's like we went like 3 weeks without hearing from each other, because then it was back to reality. I had all these things to finish. I had all these podcasts and episodes to plan, these social media thing. There's so many other things that was happening in my life, and she was just starting and opening her business. So we went for like 3-4 weeks without talking to each other. And then one morning I was driving to work, pick up the phone, call her, and then it was just like nothing ever happened. It was like those 3 weeks. And that's true friendship. We don't live in each other's back pocket, but we're able to pick up right where we left off whenever we last spoke. It happens to my other friend, Marianne. It's the same thing. We talk sometimes a lot because she lives here in America, but then there's times we go for a very long time without talking. And then it's like when we start to talk, we pick up back on the same conversation. So don't worry about if you got too busy during the pandemic. We all did. Maybe with the wrong things, but hey, we all did, right? So this year also, I decided to expand my friendship circles. Not that I want a lot more girlfriends, but I truly enjoy the girlfriend aspect, the getting together, the collaborating, the talking to people that share my interests. So I started to join. I'm looking into joining different organizations and, different places that with group of women that share my interests. So this is a podcast. I'm a podcaster. So I am on this website. Well, it used to be a Facebook group. It's called Women of Color Podcasters, and they recently moved over to their own platform, and you have membership and you can join. So I just joined them, and I joined them for many reasons. A lot of it has to do with podcasting. It's called Women of Color Podcasting, right? Walk Stars. But I also joined it because the young lady who started it, Danielle Desir, I met her in 2019 at She Podcast Live, and she was very gracious, and she remained consistently so. I joined it for her because, like I said, I liked her. She seemed very authentic, and just the sisterhood. I thought that this is a group of like-minded women who share my interests. So I joined it for the support and the sisterhood that I believe that I'm going to get. And I really do think it's important to connect with like-minded women who shares your interests. Now, I'm not expecting these women to become my best friends. That it's not even something that I want. I can't have that many best friends. There's so many. And none of them might even become my best friends. But just having that medium to connect and to collaborate, it is truly something that I'm looking forward to. So if you're listening and you're a podcaster, a woman identifies a woman of color podcaster, this was something that started on Facebook. They now have their own community. So there's a lot of different things. You can certainly check it out if you want to join. I know that the cohort, the yearly membership thing ended, but there's so much information that you can find if you check it out on your own. I'm also looking at few different communities that I want to join, communities that share my interests. Like I mentioned, girlfriends are important and they don't all have to share your interests, but it's nice when you find some that share your interests. And so you can check out. I checked out a couple of different Facebook groups, and there's just different places that you can go and find people that share your interests. I believe that relationships like girlfriends need nurturing. You have to. Anything of value needs nurturing, and your girlfriends are valuable. So nurture them. Enjoy your girlfriends. Do things with them. Go hiking. Okay, if that's your hobby, that's your hobby. And I mentioned hiking. I'm not a hiker, so you will not find me in a group for avid hikers. It's just not something that I'm into. But hey, if I had a girlfriend that did it, that's her business, right? Go shopping, watch a movie, go for a walk, go for a drive, go on a trip after the pandemic, of course, but enjoy your girlfriends. And please remove the frenemies from your life. You don't have time for that. Life is too short. We're in 2021. People are dying left and right. Millions of people all over this world died from this pandemic. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. So remove all the toxic things from your life. Frenemies are high school. It's over. It's done with it. I'm talking to grown women. It's not cute. It's not worth your time. Cut it out. End it. Move on. I'm being real right now. Girlfriends are important. True girlfriends. Healthy relationship with your girlfriends. But the toxic one, like the song said in Frozen, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. All right, that's it for the saying for me. All right, so I really want to encourage you guys to go ahead and nurture that girlfriend relationship. And there's one thing I'm going to say. After this ends, I'm going to give you guys the call to action for the podcasting. But after listening to this episode, there are 3 things that I want you to do for your girlfriend journey. I want you to, number 1, and I want you to follow up with this and send me an email at Suzanne@positivelysuzanne.com. Let me know how it's going. Do a girlfriend check. Check out the girlfriends in your life. Find out the ones that are worth keeping, the ones that are worth removing. Number 2, remove the toxic girlfriends. Let it go. Number 3, connect with your girlfriends. Or if you don't have any girlfriend, make new friends. You can do this by joining some new communities of people that share your interests, but make new friends. Or just connect with the friends that, are really good friends, but you've just been so busy you haven't had a chance to do it. Hey, I get it. We are homeschooling, the hybrid model. There's just so much going on. So, friendly reminder, the 3 things. Do a girlfriend check. Remove the toxic girlfriends and connect with your girlfriends. Nurture your girlfriend relationships because it's so important. Make time to hang out. Make time to talk. Make time to do something. Like I said, you can go to a movie. Well, I know about the movie theater right now, but I do see some people are going. You could just do a movie at your home, things like that. Just whatever it is, connect. Girlfriends are important. I don't know where I would be without my girlfriends, the ones that I know love me unconditionally, the ones that keep me grounded. I have sisters. I love my sisters. I have a great relationship with my sisters. I love my husband. I have a great relationship with my husband. But can you imagine me having, oh, honey, let's watch Jane the Virgin together. Like there's shows that my husband and I watch together. We watch all the SWATs, the Law and Orders, the CSI, which ended, the NCISs. But Jane the Virgin, Bridgerton, Emily in Paris, those are definitely girlfriend shows. And I'm throwing those shows out there because if you want to check them out, they're really, really great shows. But do your girlfriend check. Like I said, come on, girlfriends are important, and especially for Black women, especially for women of color. The girlfriend support, the girlfriend group, the girlfriend relationship is so essential. As always, I thank you for listening. I thank you for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget that the Sit Down with Suzanne podcast is in all major podcast directories. So please go ahead, listen, like, subscribe, follow, share, write a review, and reach out to me at Suzanne@positivelysuzanne.com if there's a topic you'd like to hear me talk about. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, we can certainly chat to see if, we are the right fit. As always, I thank you for listening. And until next time, this is Suzanne signing off.